It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to this special edition of Science Bowl. The two teams you're about to meet have won once previously. Today's winner moves on to become part of this year's semifinals. Play along with us today. Test your own science IQ. Let's meet today's teams. First from Glenarden Woods Elementary, say hello to Michael Wong, Sarai De Souza, and Diego Bastillo Torres. And from Whitehall Elementary, here they are, Jaden Walker, Alan Velasquez, and Aubrey Higley. And now, here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty. The easier questions there on the left worth 5 and 10. Tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds today, we will have someone for the semifinals. So let's make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the red team. Sarai, would you try that buzzer for me? Looks and sounds good. It's a group push going on over there. You, Michael, and Diego. And Alan, how about the green teams? Ready and raring to go? Good luck to you, to Aubrey, and to Jaden. And let me just say congratulations for making it this far in the competition. You guys are just terrific. Let's have a good game today. May the better team win. We go alphabetically G before W. So Glenarden and Sarai, let's play the bowl.
So let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points to start it out. Teams, you cannot get smart for Science Bowl by using this O initial process whereby substances move from an area of high concentration to low concentration across a semi-permeable membrane. You don't get smart through what process? Osmosis. Osmosis. Stuff doesn't just seep in. You got to work at it. Try red. Go.
Science Potpourri to 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, the first national park created to protect wildlife was this one in South Florida. Whitehall.
Everglades. I think it's the Everglades. I want to pass this to Aubrey.
Aubrey?
Is it the Everglades?
The Everglades it is, indeed. Yes, the Yellowstone was the first national park. The first one to protect wildlife was the Everglades. Good answer, go green.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade, 10 points. Scientists now think that it was Gigantopithecus, an extinct ape that was the model for the great ape that climbed the Empire State Building. Who was it, Alan?
King Kong?
It was King Kong, that's right. Jaden says, come on, get with the program here. Go. Green.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Multiple choice question, teams. The new thermometers that don't get put in your mouth, but rather at the side of your head, are known as temporal scanners, occipital scanners, or sublingual scanners. Glenarden Woods.
Sublingual?
Not sublingual. The thermometers you hold against the side of your head are known as temporal scanners, occipital scanners, or sublingual scanners.
The first one?
The first one it is, temporal. That was a lot to remember. Good job. Go, green.
Daylight Science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams Robert Hooke, who back in the 1600s invented the compound microscope, liked looking at cork cells and these jumping insects that hop around. Glenarden Woods.
Fleas?
Fleas, absolutely right. I was going to say on the backs of dogs, you didn't even need that. Yeah, he was fascinated by fleas. Go, red.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if someone kicks you in the shins, what T initialed bone is going to hurt for a while? Glenarden
I'd
Woods.
like to pass it to Michael.
Tibia.
Tibia, you got it, young man. Good. Go. Red.
Let's get physical for 15.
Get physical for 15 points is a visual question, teams. Look at the monitor if you would. You're looking at the surface of Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons. And those things you see erupting on the surface are the same things you see erupting in Yellowstone Park, Glenarden Woods.
Geysers?
Yes, those are all geysers, just like Old Faithful. Indeed. 85-85. We got a tie score. Advantage red.
Green things for 10.
Green things, 10 points, teams. Psychologists say that you can improve your attention span and your short-term memory if you go walking through an arboretum where you are surrounded, Glenarden Woods.
Trees?
Say it again.
Trees.
Trees, yes, you're surrounded by trees. That's what I need to hear. Good. Red.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, if 92 to 94% of members of a population are immunized, that kind of immunity has what same name as a group of cows? Whitehall.
Herd.
A herd. That's called herd immunity. Indeed. Nicely done. Go green. 5-point lead.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade for 15 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, in animal populations, if the males are monogamous, do they eat one kind of food, live in just one territory, or have just one Glenarden Woods?
Just one mate.
One mate, absolutely. The one I didn't even need to tell you. You knew that. Monogamy, monogamy, one mate. Good. Red.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, astronaut Scott Kelly is right now on the International Space Station. He will be there for a whole year as scientists study the effects of zero-G on people in space. I have not gotten to a question, but what do you want to tell me, Alan? What you got?
G-force.
Not G-force. Glenarden Woods. Scott Kelly up there on the International Space Station, staying there for a whole year. What will the effect of zero-G be on him? Down here on Earth is his twin, Mark. Because this is an experiment, since they are comparing one brother to another, that comparison, that brother on Earth is known as the what?
Shorter?
The control. He is the test versus the control. You learn that when you do your science experiments. Buzzer is rung. End of the first round, close game. Glenarden Woods, 110. Whitehall, 100. We'll be back with round 2 in just a moment. Don't go away.
Simple moments are what make every day count.
And welcome back to Science Ball. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Here we are in our 30th year, and our students keep getting better and better. None better than the 6 we're happy to host today. Already winners, and today vying for the chance to move on. Glenarden Woods, one of the winningest school in Science Ball history, and Whitehall, rather new to the game, but really making a great first impression. Let's find out about these young people in case you missed them the first time we introduced them. Let's go to Glenarden Woods, and Sarai, tell us about Glenarden Woods. Now, the school that most of us know is now being renovated, so where are you guys now?
We're at Robert Goddard Montessori.
Yeah, so you're away from home, as it were, huh? How's the new place?
It's okay.
It's
like,
okay.
All the students are really nice.
Yeah, no place like home. Who's the principal?
Their principal?
Your principal.
Oh, our principal is Miss Bowden.
Miss Bowden. And she's been there for a number of years. And of course, I know Glenarden Woods because of the annual feast that you put on, and it's just a spectacular, one of the best things I've seen in Prince George's schools. Really a great production. And tell me, did you have any alternates on your team?
Mark and Noah.
Wonderful. They're out there cheering for you, and you've got three, count them, three sponsors. Who are they?
Mr. Richardson, Miss Emerson, and Miss Stewart.
Three heads better than one. Boy, they're all out there. They're nervous, just like you guys are nervous. I can hear your knees knocking all the way over here. Just settle down. You're playing such a great game. Tell me about Glenarden Woods. What's the best thing, in your estimation, at Glenarden?
The teachers make the learning, like all the difficult problems, really easy to understand. Like our math teacher, Mr. Delisarni.
That's wonderful. Yeah, so I mean, they've got to challenge you, but they've got to make it doable too. And I know you've got great teachers over there, including the sponsors that are here today. What do you want to do someday, Sarai?
I want to be an astronaut.
Yeah, and this young lady is an athlete and a musician. What two instruments do you play?
Guitar and cello.
Wonderful, and a great scholar. And you're just a great captain. Nice to have you here. Diego, nice to have you back as well. You're an intense guy. You're already ready to push that buzzer again. And all I want to do is ask you about yourself. You want to be a mechanical engineer? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. And tell me some of the things you've already done in that line.
Well, I'm in a robotics club. I already built a robot. So yeah.
Yeah, we're going to hear from you. You're going to be controlling the world here someday soon. What do you do in your spare time if you're not tinkering?
Well, mainly I watch TV, play video games, and play with Legos and play my saxophone.
Yeah, so you got a lot of things going for you as well. You're a good player too. And Michael, nice to have you guys here. You're here. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
I usually just read or watch TV, or sometimes just go around with my iPad or computer.
Yeah, what kind of books you like to read?
Fantasies, graphic novels, and sometimes a little bit manga.
Wonderful, wonderful. What are your favorite TV shows? Other than Science Bowl?
I actually I don't have television. I just have a lot of CDs or CDs.
Very good, very good. Well, obviously you're doing everything right because you know an awful lot about science. Good to have you here. Whitehall, nice to have you guys here. Alan, give us the Whitehall story. Where is it? It's over there in Bowie, right?
Yes.
You're in Bowie. And tell me about your principal. Who's your principal?
Our principal is Mr. Christian.
Yeah, he's rather new to the school because it used to be Mr. Campbell. And just like Glenarden Woods, you too have three sponsors, don't you?
Yes.
Who are they?
Miss Wine, Miss Malott, and Miss Farmer.
Wonderful. And they're wearing matching shirts to match your shirts, those great Science Bowl shirts you got on there with the glassware and the Science Bowl logo. You guys look great, and you're playing a great game here. Tell me what you like about Whitehall.
I like a lot of the activities, such as Science Bowl, and we have a science team too. So it pushes the students to learn what other things they can do.
Absolutely. And Whitehall is a blue ribbon school.
Yes.
And I remember being there a number of times, and you've got that school song, We Are Whitehall. Do you guys all know that by heart?
Yeah. Yes.
I bet you do. What do you want to do someday, Alan?
I want to become a soccer player because when I do it, it feels relaxing.
Yeah.
And when I play, it's just like I forget about the other stuff that I have to do.
And that's one of the great values of sports. You know, you get out there and you get involved in the game, and you're part of that team, just like you are here today, playing a really nice game. Any alternates on your team? Alan, you got like 4, don't you?
Yes. Leah, Miriam, Duncan, and Sarah.
Wonderful. They'll be out in just a few moments with your 3 sponsors here. Aubrey, nice to have you here. And tell us about this farm you own someday. You're going to grow vegetables, and what kind of animals are you going to raise?
I'm going to raise chickens, cows, horses, sheep, pigs, dogs, and of course barn cats, because you never know how many rats could be in a barn.
I like that. Farm cats, absolutely right. Now, you say you've never really worked on a farm before, right?
I never worked on a farm because I was like 3, but it was really fun to play in the hayloft.
Yeah, no, that's the fun. And of course, there's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of work on the farm as well. Do you ever consider veterinary medicine?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, because that would suit you well if you've got all those animals there. Well, you're a good player, and I know you like to read books and the dictionary. And
Yes.
what did you say you were? You're a walking what?
Encyclopedia.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think that's a great thing. That's a really good thing here today. You're a real good player. Jaden, you're a super player as well. You want to be a lawyer someday?
Yes.
How'd you get interested in that?
We have a debate. Yeah, we have a debate team at our school, and I was thinking about joining it because I like debating.
Yeah, that's the perfect place to kind of cut your teeth as a lawyer and to see what kind of arguments you win and what the opposing team is like. What do you do in your spare time?
I fish. I read books. I watch TV, and I play my instrument too.
What's your instrument?
Saxophone.
Saxophone. Wow, we got a couple saxophone players here that have been here today. And I know when you went fishing with your grandfather last time, you told us you caught a bass that was this big?
Yes.
Has it gotten any bigger since, huh? I like that. You're a good player as well. Let's get back to the game. Whitehall 100, Glenarden 110. Last correct answer came to the red team, so Sarai, let's start again.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points is a visual question. Everybody look at the monitor, if you would. Back in 1997, this sheep made headlines around the world as the first mammal that was ever cloned. What is her name? Glenarden Woods.
I'd like to pass it to Michael.
Michael.
Debbie?
Not Debbie. Good try. What's that sheep's name? The first mammal ever cloned. Hello, Dolly was her name. Dolly, go red. You were close, Mike.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems, 20 points, teams. This hormone that is used to treat diabetes, Glenarden Woods.
Insulin?
Insulin, absolutely right. Used to be gotten from harvested animal organs. Now it is made in bacteria that have genes inserted into them. Go red.
Green things for 15.
Green things, 15 points. Teams at the U.S. Botanic Garden recently, they started something called the Primeval Garden. There are mosses and ferns and cycads that harken back to what period that we associate, because of the movies, with dinosaurs.
Mesozoic.
Glenarden Woods.
Mesozoic?
Not Mesozoic. Because of the movies, what period do we associate with the dinosaurs?
Jurassic.
Jurassic. That's right. It's called the Jurassic Garden. Go, green.
20 points.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points, teams. When salmon migrate and they get to their natal, N-A-T-A-L, waters, they stop because they are where? Glenarden Woods.
Home?
Meaning?
Where they were born?
Where they were born. That's right. N-A-T-A-L. That is their birthing waters. Good. Red.
Great things for 5.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Hoverboards have been ruled illegal here in Prince George's schools and indeed across much of the country because they just burst into flames for no apparent reason. That is known as what? Glenarden Woods?
Spontaneous combustion?
That's exactly right. They combust spontaneously. Those lithium-ion batteries, they are not to be trusted. Go red.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline science for 20 points is a multiple choice question, teams. America has a new telescope. It will explore the exoplanets beyond Pluto. Is it named for Lorenz, Kepler, or Mendeleev? Glenarden Woods.
Kepler?
Kepler, the only astronomer in the group. Yes, indeed. Red.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. What same word describes calcium oxide, which you get by burning shells and you use as fertilizer on your lawn, and this green citrus fruit? Whitehall.
Lime.
Lime. That's it. Thank you, Aubrey. Good answer. Go.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade 25. Big one in that category. You probably don't know this or ever thought about it, but fish do make noises. They don't open their mouth. They make those noises by vibrating this organ. Glenarden Woods.
Their gills?
Not their gills. Good try. Whitehall, what organ in a fish do they vibrate to make sounds? It is the same organ that keeps them afloat.
Fin?
Say it.
Their fins?
Not their fins. Good try. It's the bladder, the air bladder inside them. That's what they vibrate to make that noise. Good try. Both teams, no points. 190 Glenarden, 135 Whitehall. Go green.
Green things for 25.
Green things 25. Big one in that category. Multiple choice question, teams. In this country, dandelions are weeds. But in England, they grow them as flowers. They say in England that dandelions are cultivated plants? Are they cultivated, are they cloned, or are they chromatized? Whitehall.
Cultivated.
Cultivated?
Cultivated, the very first one. Absolutely right. Go green.
Dateline science for 25.
Dateline science for 25 points. Teams, if you know your dinosaurs, you'll know this. Paleontologists have switched their minds again. Now, this thunder lizard is no longer considered the same as the Apatosaurus. Glenarden Woods.
Pterodactyl?
Not pterodactyl. This thunder lizard is no longer thought to be the same as the Apatosaurus, but rather is back to being its own species. What dinosaur is known as the thunder lizard?
I want to pass it to
Aubrey.
Aubrey.
The Brontosaurus.
It is the Brontosaurus. Yes, ma'am. Good. Green.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points, teams. Tough question. There's a new kind of stethoscope that uses infrared signals from a computer to listen to your heart. If you suffer from atrial septal defect, you have a hole where in your heart? Be specific. Atrial septal defect, you have a hole in your heart where?
I'd like to pass it to Diego.
Diego.
In your atrium?
More specific, more information, please.
Your left atrium?
No. Good try. Whitehall, any idea? Atrial septal defect. You have a hole in your heart where? Tough question.
I want to pass it to Aubrey.
What you think?
The left atrium.
It's between the left and the right. The septum is the wall. Tough. Good try. Both teams. Go. Green.
Science
5 points
potpourri for
behind.
5. Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri, 5 points, teams. What piece of laboratory equipment that is actually a manometer to measure air pressure has the same name as the platform where we put the videos that we make on the internet? Sarai.
The desktop?
Not the desktop. Nope. Whitehall, where we post our videos on the internet has what same name as a piece of laboratory equipment used to measure air pressure? YouTube. Go green.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, what green vegetable, sometimes known as an alligator pear, is mashed up to make guacamole?
Avocado?
An avocado is right. Yes. Tie score. 190 all. Green.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points, teams. Among the big earth-shaking news in science last year was a tiny story that told us why it is that these bones crack in our hands. Glenarden Woods.
Knuckles?
Your knuckles. Yeah, you crack your knuckles. It's little air bubbles inside the synovial fluid. Go.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25. Big one in that category, teams, is as follows. 2-part answer. If you get a filling in your tooth at your dentist's, what the dentist uses is an amalgam of 2 chemical substances that have the symbols Ag and
Silver and mercury.
I want to pass it to Aubrey.
Aubrey.
Silver and mercury.
Yes, ma'am. Silver and mercury, Ag and HD. That's what I wanted to hear. Green.
Let's get physical for 5.
Get physical for 5 points, teams. The most visited national park in America is the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. It is so named not because it's on fire, but because so much of this is always over it. Whitehall.
Smoke?
Not smoke. No, it's not on fire. The Great Smoky Mountains so named because they have so much of this over it, Sarai.
Steam?
Fog. Fog is the right answer. 3 questions left. Choose it, Green.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points, teams. Even though these rodents can't drive, Simon, Theodore, and Alan. Whitehall.
Chipmunks?
Those are the chipmunks, yeah, the road chip. Good. Where?
Daylight science for 5.
Daylight science for 5 points, teams. Hawaii just became the first state in the nation to say that you have to be 21 years of age to buy these. Alan.
Cigarettes?
Cigarettes, indeed. They're trying to cut down smoking. Last question of the game, 25 points, body systems. It looks like Whitehall will do this. This is the question. Listen carefully, please. Body systems. The late singer Natalie Cole recently passed away. She suffered from hepatitis C earlier in her life because of dirty needles, which caused what largest internal organ to get diseased late in her life? Whitehall.
Stomach?
Not the stomach. Glenarden Woods, the largest internal organ that got diseased because of an earlier bout of hepatitis C.
Liver?
The liver is absolutely right, and with that, we come to the end of this game, hard fought. We'll be back with a wrap up in one moment. Don't go away.
If you're like most families, you probably have video game fans in your home. But not every game is right for every kid, which is where the ESRB ratings come in. They help parents make informed decisions for their kids. And there's an easy-to-use mobile app that gives you detailed info on specific game ratings. Video game consoles have parental controls that you can set to block certain games by age rating, so they get all the fun, and you get peace of mind.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
Welcome back. What do we say after a game like that? It was a battle of the Titans here today. Better Science Bowl games you will not see, better students you will not see. Our final tally today, it was extremely close. Glenarden Woods 220, Whitehall 225. For the first time ever, you guys are going to the semifinals. Jaden and Alan and Aubrey, congratulations. And look at the smiles back there. All 3 of their wonderful sponsors over there at Whitehall. We have Cynthia Farmer, Dawn White, Caitlin Malott, and their alternates, Duncan, Sarah, Miriam, and Princess Leia. She is the one smiling with the biggest smile. Let's see some smiles. You guys played the best game you could. Michael and Sarai and Diego, we are so proud of you guys. And Noah played a great game, and Mark, and the 3 sponsors here again. 3 sponsors seems to do the trick this year. Mr. Richardson, Miss Emerson, and Miss Stewart, thank you for all you've done and for being such great Science Bowl participants all these years. And we thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you next time on Science Bowl. Bye-bye.